it's so irritating.
I think it's adorable.
I'm glad you like it. You want to wear it?
Hey, these days, yeah.
I know. So this is the mask. And
This is my friend Debbie. We are going to talk about her journey. She has gone on a big journey. As you can see, she was vibrant, she was healthy, she was strong, she was conquering the world. She came down with a very rare form of leukemia, and we want to put this out there because this is so rare, and I think it's something that everybody should know. Welcome to Angela's Hangout. Hanging out on the couch with Debbie.
for part three. Woo!
Here we go. This is a big one. We're getting into the transplant at this point. And by the way, remember these cute little hats? Pick you up one. I'll have my email listed below. You can just contact me and she'll whip one out for you. It's $5, $2 for shipping, and it'll be to you in no time.
Mm-hmm.
She's like that good.
I am not good. Okay, so we're gonna, we left off with preparing to go into the transplant. So I was admitted into the hospital on September 1st, and the actual transplant was on September 9th. And it takes the 1st until the 7th to prepare you with chemo to drop your immune system down for the transplant. So you have, I had 7 days of chemo, 8th day is rest, and then the 9th was the transplant. So before, like the day before before I got admitted on the 1st, I had to have my PICC line put back in because, you know, they're gonna have like just a tons of stuff going in me, you know, medications, well, the chemo, blood transfusions, platelet transfusions.
And testing too? Or did they test through your PICC line too, or was that, did they draw blood somewhere else?
Oh no, yeah, they draw blood through there every morning and every evening. Yeah, and it's for after the transplant when I'm released from the hospital, because I go to the Infusion Center like 3 to 4 days a week, and they draw blood labs for that too. And in case you
It's
need,
your external line for everything.
it pretty much is. So it's better than getting poked all the time and blah blah. So I had that done, and then I went into the Infusion Center, and they gave me a shot. I don't know the name of the medication, but it basically completely stops your period, as well as the chemo does and the transplant. But they just need to make sure that it's stopped because they don't want a risk of any type of blood flow happening during that time. And so it also pretty much...
So this was prior to your very first dose of the heavy chemo?
Yeah, this was the day before I even went into the hospital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so August 31st. Yeah, so it basically makes you infertile. Fertile? Yeah, so between that shot and the chemo, you basically can't have children anymore. I'm 48, so, and I'm a grandma now, so I have no business having kids, and I don't want any more. But for people who are young, you know, there's like teenagers have to go through this, even younger. When they tell them about that, they won't be able to have kids. Usually they freeze their eggs. So that's just side note for anyone. Anyways, it's really sad, but that's what happens. So all that happened, and then I had to take some pills like the day before, the day of, I think, in the morning, anti-seizure pills, because I guess the chemo can give you seizures. I don't know. I've never had one before. But, so there was that. There were these big old fat pills. So, anyway.
We always remember those.
I know. Seriously.
Pills, I meant.
Yeah, so, anyway, we're on September 1st. I call in. I think they did the PICC line September 1st, actually. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I was supposed to be admitted like at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, then it changed to 7, then 8, then 9. waiting for my room to become available, and finally at 11 o'clock at night, it was go time. I could be admitted, so we went down there, said goodbye to my family, and I didn't really feel scared. I felt more prepared because I was able to pack my bag, because I knew I was going to be in there anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks, just depending how your body does. And so I was able to pack stuff. I packed my hats and some journals and books and stuff like that. Keep me busy when I do feel good. And then, so yeah, it's much better knowing you're going to be going to the hospital for a while versus, oh shoot, we need to admit you, you know, and you had like no idea that was going to happen. So, which I was used to. So this was kind of nice. So at 11 at night, I get dropped off.
She was texting very well on her phone at that time, by the way.
Yeah.
She was still keeping people updated.
I was. I was like, da da da.
I'm making a hat.
So, and anyway, they did labs right when I got there, so they know how, you know, what all my blood work is like before starting the chemo. And then, they're like, okay, at 5 a.m. or 5:30, we're gonna start your first round of chemo. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, they start at like at 7, but anyway. So the first 4 days, it's like, I forgot the name of the chemo, but it's like a lighter dose, and that mainly makes the fatigue start and the loss of appetite. So, yeah, that chemo wasn't bad. I was handling it quite well. I was busting out the hats. I was making them for nurses, for some of the patients.
And that's when you're walking around, right?
Yeah, and they want you to stay kind of active as you can in a hospital and walk these laps, and you can hit a clock, thing that keeps track of them.
She's in the hospital doing laps.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to.
Well, not everybody was. You told me that.
No,
So,
not everyone does.
And she's sitting there, there's like a dinger thing.
Yeah.
Like, look, I just did another one, and I'm like, I haven't even gotten off my couch today. Like,
I did. I went in the morning and I went in the evening, and I was doing like just not full on squats, but just like, you know, kind of squats in the room and doing a bunch of like leg lifts, and I couldn't really do too much with my arms because of the PICC line. So I'm like, I'm just gonna stay as active as I could until, because I knew after this light chemo, the next 2 days was gonna be the heavy chemo, and I knew that was gonna wipe me out. So I was just taking advantage. But the 4th day of that light chemo, I was getting pretty fatigued, and I felt that loss of appetite hit me hard. And so then I started that hard chemo, and they said that it's gonna be a lot, and yeah, you're gonna have a lot of side effects, and boy, were they right.
this was the 5,000.
Yeah, so
the average is.
Usually the average they give someone is like 600 milliliters, and they were giving me 5,000. So when they started, you know, they put it in my PICC line.
It's like 9 times the amount.
I know.
Of a regular, like that. That's crazy.
I know. So when they put it in my PICC line, you know, they and they also give you more fluids, like a ton more, to flush it through your body because it's so toxic, and so you have to go pee a lot. So, you know, they bring in the I forgot.
Bedpan?
Yeah, no, the convertible, or the potty right next to your bed, so you don't have to walk to the bathroom. And then they have you on bed lock. So anytime I did have to go to the bathroom, I'd have to ring for the nurse, because if I got out without the nurse unlocking it, all these alarms would go off. It was really annoying, but apparently it was for my safety. And so anyway, but that's how Stanford is. They're really good, and I just won't complain. And I did have to do that a lot. Like, you have to pee a lot because they're putting so much fluid in you. But anyway, like 20 minutes after that chemo started going through me, and it takes about 2 hours for the whole thing, the whole bag thing to go into you. like 20 minutes into it, you just, for me anyway, you just feel, oh, here's Shadow. He wants to join us.
He says, it's okay, Mom. You're okay now. I'm right here.
I just like felt this horrible burning in my mouth. Like it was on fire. Like, oh, it hurt so bad. And then I could just feel from there, I could just feel the burning sensation going all the way down my body. And it was awful. It burned so bad. And I'm like, gosh, dang, this is literally freaking killing me. So
it's like burning your insides.
It did. So I had 2 days.
Like you didn't have enough problems with your mouth, so
right.
Let's add to it.
Seriously. So I had 2 days of that, and it was horrible. And the side effects were fatigue, of course, complete loss of appetite. I mean, I stopped eating, and they give you intravenous feeding after a few days, and because they know that's going to happen, so they told me just to expect that. And horrible diarrhea, lots of vomiting, and it did a number on my bladder, like burnt my bladder. So, you know, every time I go to the bathroom, it was blood, and they tested me to make sure there's no infections and this and that, and it was all fine, and the doctor's just like, it's completely normal. You'll flush it out, just keep drinking and drinking and drinking. Well, even drinking was hard for me to do. Even though, you know, you have your IV, but they want you to drink a lot of water, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I hated it, you know, then you have to go to
then you have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and you have to load that stupid IV machine around, and trust me, my thing was loaded with stuff.
You had for years.
It's loaded with stuff. So it's just a pain. And so anyway, there was that, and then then I started getting fevers, and that's not good.
Because it's breaking down your immune system.
Yeah, so the reasoning for all the chemo is to drop my immune system down to basically nothing. And so there's like a lot of like infections and just like a lot of stuff that floats around in our body all the time that our immune system's constantly fighting off, so it doesn't affect us. But when you have that immune system wiped out of you, it affects you. So there was probably like viruses, not infections, but there's viruses always inside your body. So those viruses, since I didn't have anything to fight them off, would creep up on me, and that's how I would get a fever. So they just put through my line antibiotics.
Did you have contact with people at that time? With like, did your brother or sister-in-law, were they able to come and visit you, or?
Yeah, the rule was, my brother did come and visit me, but the rule then was either you needed to show proof of having the vaccinations, or that you were tested negative no more than 48 hours prior. Whereas when I was in the hospital, when I was diagnosed in February, there was just no visitors at all allowed. So yeah, my brother did come and visit me towards the end, not when I was really sick, which is perfectly fine. I wasn't in the mood for visitors. And then I wasn't pretty.
Well, not only, yeah, you don't. Sorry, I have diarrhea.
Excuse me while I throw up. So anyway, so during all that time, I stopped making hats, I stopped walking, I stopped being, you know, doing all that. And the doctors would tell me, you gotta keep trying. I'm like, shut up. Trust me, if I could, I would. So, so you have all that going on. And then my 8th day was a day of rest. So I basically did nothing. I tried to sleep a lot, but you're interrupted a lot. And then the 9th day, September 9th, was transplant day, and the one of the doctors came in with a little ice chest with my new cells in there. You know, it's just like in one of those bags that the blood comes in. And so they hook it up and they put it in my PICC line, and it took about 40 minutes. And that, I mean, it was just like a blood transfusion. But these, you could actually see the little cells inside of the blood going through the line. I took a recording of it.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
So you can see those things moving through that tube are his cells. Trip out on that, huh? There's just millions of them. It's so cool.
You'll see it. It's the coolest thing ever, and it's just so amazing. Just millions of cells are just going in me. I mean, just how the whole process is, it's truly amazing. So after that, so my white blood cell count was down to 0 basically. And so the reason for that is and dropping your immune system is when I get like this, it's like a foreign object being put in my body. And because normally if my immune system would see that, it would fight it off. So that's why they drop your immune system. So you don't try to fight off these cells that seem foreign to your body. And so it can start grafting. And the whole purpose of receiving these cells is for them to graft to my cancer cells that I still had in my body. And so that's the reason for my transplant, and that's why it was my cure. And so anyway, so that took about 40 minutes, and then you're done. I didn't have any reactions that I remember to that. I know I got a fever again, but it doesn't make you sick or anything. It was pretty easy. So it was just basically recovering and letting your body rest, because it just had this big thing happen, and wait for your white blood cell count to go up. And once that starts going up, that means that the new cells are starting to graft to mine. And so anyway, that started happening every day. My labs would show that my white blood cell count was going up little by little. And so then it got to the point to where I was ready to be released. When it hits a certain number, you can be released if everything's okay. And I was okay, other than peeing blood and all that.
So at this point, how many days are you in there?
So I was released on, I think I wrote it down. I think I was released September 23rd or something. So it was the 3rd week. Yeah, September 23rd. I was in there for 3 weeks. So it was like September 20th probably. And they're like, well, we can release you, but you need to start eating. And so I'm like, okay. And they're like, tomorrow we're going to take you off the intravenous, and so you have to eat. And I'm like, crap, okay. So
you're like, I don't want to. I like that. Can you just keep that thick line?
I know, it was kind of nice. So I didn't eat because this loss of appetite feeling, it's like,
oh, tell them about how when people came in to clean your room and stuff.
Hardcore. Oh yeah. So after your transplant, since you don't have your immune system, when people are cleaning and all that, they don't want you breathing in, there could be some type of fungi in the air or something. So when housekeeping would come in to clean my room, I'd have to wear this wonderful mask. And I just did this though. So
it's so cute.
It's so irritating.
I think it's adorable.
I'm glad you like it. You want to wear it?
Hey, these days, yeah.
I know. So this is the mask. And I had to wear it everywhere. It was a lot of fun. So anyway,
you had to wear that when you got out too, right?
Yeah, I had to wear this out. So after your transplant, that's when this starts. And I had to wear, for the first 90 days, basically anytime I leave the house. It doesn't matter if I was sitting out in the backyard just to get some air, I had to wear that. Because there's so much fungi and everything that is in the air.
We'll get into the after
yeah.
In the next video.
And in the car, I'd only have to wear it if someone rolled down their windows. Other than that, I could have the AC on. That's what we did.
Oh, that's weird.
Then I can take it off. Yeah. So anyway, so I had to wear that in the hospital.
She sent me a picture with her. She's like, look at this mask I have to wear.
I know. It was...
She was like all humiliated. I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. Like, it's pink, you know.
I know. But the poor men, they have to wear it too with pink. They don't, for some reason, they don't have these in other colors. And I asked about that. And I'm like, the poor guys. Anyway, whatever. But a lot of people, they do make covers that you can put over it. And a lot of people...
Oh, they like bedazzle and stuff?
Yeah, had that done. I was
put
like...
some bling on there?
Yeah, I was like, whatever.
See, you should have had them send me one and I could have
I know.
whipped up something fancy.
But
I could put Coco Chanel on each side.
I know, right? Yeah, so I didn't like it at first, but you get used to it. And I felt pretty comfortable with it. Then when I got to stop wearing it, I was uncomfortable. Like I didn't like it was weird going outside the house without it on. I felt like I was being bad or something. It was so strange.
Like, am I healthy enough? Wait, I don't know.
I know, but
just
now
for security reasons.
Yeah, now I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with that. I have to work to appointments.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable putting it on right now for this demonstration.
I know, right? So anyway, so then I finally started eating, and then September 23rd, they released me to my brother and sister-in-law, and that's where the 90-day recovery begins, and that's where the hard part was.
Because it wasn't hard this whole entire time. First of all, trying to find the diagnosis, what was wrong, and going through lowering your, like everything. Your whole adventure is like, that's why I wanted to record it so bad, was because I've never experienced anything like this. So
yeah, and I honestly didn't know. I knew the transplant was going to be hard, but I didn't know that it was going to be what it was. And a lot of people think, oh, you just have it done through an IV, that's easy. Yeah, that is easy, but to prepare for that is very hard with the chemo. I mean, it did a number on my body, and then the recovery, especially those first 90 days, and that's why the first 90 days to 100 are so critical.
crucial, yeah.
Because that's usually where a lot of things hit you, and that's why you are supposed to stay by the hospital and all that. That's why I stayed at my brother's, and I had no idea. They tell you of side effects that could happen, but it didn't sound like it was going to be nearly as bad as it was going to be. And some people kind of sail through it.
Seriously, she acted when she told me about it. She was like, I'm just going in for a transplant. We just need to find the donor, and I was like, oh, okay, what can I do? How do I help you find a donor? Like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
So, she would do some sort of donor drive. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So I'll hold it up at the park. I don't care. Stop everybody. Hey, would you be willing? I don't care. And then, yeah. So, and then when she was finally going through it, she just made it sound like it was like a walk. Oh, I'm just going to all they have to do is put it in. But
yeah,
you didn't know about the whole 5,000 whatever chemo.
I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have some strong chemo. I'll get a little sick. I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm like,
I was talking with you when you got the first dose of chemo, which was I guess lighter, because that was a pill.
No, it was all intravenous.
No, the first one that you did.
Oh, the clinical trial chemo. Yeah,
that was a pill. And she's like, she was literally like no big deal.
No, and let me tell you, they said that clinical trial chemo is a lot easier on your body, and it's night and day. I'm so grateful that I qualified for that, because it was easy. I mean, the side effects were so small. Oh yeah, another side effect from the chemo in the hospital are your nails. Mine are actually almost all there, but you lose your nails and you get pretty new nails. So
just like your pretty new hairs
and my pretty new skin. So it's like they're just at the tips now, but it was really weird before we could post pictures. So that's another side effect. And your toenails. I've lost 8 toenails now. I only have 2 more to lose.
But you will lose them all?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
They're like in the works right now?
Oh, yeah. They're very ugly looking before they fall. Well, they're ugly when they fall off. My toes are very ugly right now. I'm not going to show you.
But she has pretty nails.
Yeah.
And she's growing hairs.
Yeah, I have so much hair has grown in. Yeah, I was bald. My hair started growing in December, the end of December. So very bald for like a solid 3 months from when I was in the hospital. The clinical trial chemo, I lost a lot of hair with, but not like the hard chemo where it made me completely bald. It just, the clinical trial was very spotty and made my hair very, like, coarse or ugly. So I shaved it off because it was embarrassing. It was just all clumping off and everything. So now it's all growing back nice and pretty.
It
I
is,
think.
and it's coming in blonde too, so.
I don't know, all I see is gray and dark hair.
Well, I remember in December, I don't know if you guys remember, but I made her a Christmas tree, and she came in and she was like all excited. This first time I've seen her.
I had very little peach fuzz.
Okay, let's be real. You didn't have peach fuzz. I didn't have my glasses, but she came in. She's like, "Look, I'm growing hair," and I'm going, "You are."
Oh yeah, there was a little bit right there.
Yeah, you had a couple little
yeah, that's right.
little dots right there.
I was
And she was so excited. She's like, "Look at I'm growing hair," and I'm like, "Yeah." I couldn't see anything. I'm like trying to be encouraging. Yes, it's growing. Yeah, I totally see it. And I'm like, "Sorry." But now look at it. I mean, there's no denying now that you're growing hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
I was trying to buy you like wigs and what color, do you want purple? How would you want purple or pink? I mean,
I know. It was funny.
She's like, "Nah, I'm alright."
Yeah.
I like it bald.
I did. I'm thinking of shaving this off.
You're like, "Wait, I gotta buy shampoo."
I know, right? So, anyway, also with your hair, you lose all your body hair too. And I have not shaved my legs since August before I went to the hospital.
It's not a bad thing.
And it's still nice and smooth. Yeah, so it's kind of nice. I read part of this Facebook group of bone marrow transplants I'm on that some people didn't even start shaving again until like almost a year. It's like one of the last things that starts.
Well, you have eyebrows and you have eyelashes.
Yeah, I grew those back, and that's normal. But like as far as like your body hair.
Wow.
So my pit hair. That's actually been gone since I started the clinical trial.
So you don't have to worry about getting one of those like things to take off your like mustache.
Yeah,
and your,
I know.
Like, sideburns and stuff.
I know, wish it would stay that way, but oh well. We'll see. I still haven't needed to shave. They're still very smooth, so. Anyways, that's just another side effect, which is good with me. And yeah, that's about it. Next one will be the recovery.
This is something, it's crazy.
It's a lot.
We didn't realize that this was going to be so extensive. This is going to be turning into a 4-part series at this point. But you know what? I hope you guys are really enjoying this. I hope you guys are getting a lot of information. This is Debbie's journey, and this is only her journey. So, but she's kind of giving advice to people that might be going through something like this. So anyway, stick around for part 4, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye now. Okay, just a minute. I have to interrupt real quick. Telling you about our Debbie Original. Yes, I've officially called it the Debbie Original hat because, well, she made it. So she made them while she was in the hospital, and she's still making them right now with her very own hands. So she will custom make you yours, and she will put it in any color that you choose. And so it's $5. It's only $5. $2 for shipping and handling to anywhere in the U.S. She also has a GoFundMe if you'd like to contribute a couple bucks. That would be super wonderful. As you can imagine, her hospital expenses are like astronomical, and so every dollar counts. Literally every single cent counts. So she's willing to sell these, and why not? I mean, they're super cute. Look how cute they are.